October is known as Pride Month, a month-long observance dedicated to contributions of lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender and queer culture and community. This also shines a light on the unique challenges they face in hope to create a safe space for the community. Well, this morning we highlight Ayanda Maphosa's transitioning journey from being a woman to a man. The transgender activist, graphic designer and photographer seeks to educate people about the life of a transgender man and joins us now virtually to share more. Ayanda, a very good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Imperial. Thank you for inviting me.
Now, a lot of people are still ignorant about transgender people. Please do enlighten us, if you can, on your journey of transitioning.
So I was assigned female at birth, and I didn't identify as the gender that I was assigned as. I realized that when I was 4 years old, that two genders, which is a girl and a boy, and it broke my heart because I thought that I was going to grow up and look like my dad, not like my mom. So it made me live my life as a woman, but deep inside I knew that I was a man. So the only way I thought that I could be a man was to just commit suicide and come back in the afterlife, if there is an afterlife. And at that time, there was no word for it, what transgender is. So I was forced to live my life as a woman, experience things as a woman, until 2019 or 2018, where I came across a word called transgender man through YouTube, watching other overseas trans men transitioning into being a man and explaining how they feel, which I related to. I was like, oh, okay, I'm a trans man also. So basically for me, it's been, I didn't know any words, I didn't know the language, what I am, but I knew that I was a boy.
Let's talk about the transition itself, when the medical procedure started and when you actually started taking testosterone.
I started taking testosterone 2019. I started with the cream. So we have different types of testosterone. We have a cream, we have injections, we have tablets.
How often do you take them? Is it once off or on a regular basis?
For right now, I'm an injection. So I take my injection every 2 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah, so I take my injection every 2 weeks, and it's up to me whether I want to inject for the rest of my life or if I want to stop. But for me, I don't want to stop because it will slower my changes, which are my beard growth, my voice changes, my muscle growth, and being hairy and looking manly. So if you stop testosterone, some of the changes go back. Your skin becomes softer, looking like a woman's skin. You get your hips back, because when you get into testosterone, your hips, you lose the fat, the hips.
Okay.
You know. So I'm gonna be on testosterone for the rest of my life. The only thing that's gonna stop me is when the doctor said I can't take testosterone, because there is a danger of taking testosterone, which is lung failure, kidney failure, blood clots, heart attacks. So as much as testosterone is making me happy and become the man that I am, it's also killing me softly.
Right, right. So your transitioning was largely physical or biological, to say the least, but how much of it was emotional and social? What lengths did you go to start acting like a man?
I think I've been acting like a man. I've been acting like a man. Yeah, I think I've been acting like a man. The only thing is that I was identified as a lesbian back then, and I was a butch lesbian, a masculine woman, wearing boys' clothes. Everything was, my behavior was always. I remember my grandmother used to say, why can't you act like a normal girl? Because you act like a boy. I used to play sports. I was the only girl in the boys' soccer team. you will never find me with girls. I was always with the boys because I knew that I was a boy. I belonged to the boys.
Right, right.
I guess when we come to the behaviors, since the society saw what they saw, I had to conform into being a woman and do the dishes, cook, clean, respect a man, and all those, be submissive, you know. And now coming into my manhood as a trans man, is now the man is a provider, you're a protector, all the masculinity toxic now fall onto me. So I'm learning those things now as a man, because I knew what a woman's way is. So,
yeah. And having said that, Ayanda, you now identified as he/him. Has your ID also changed with Home Affairs? Talk to us about that process.
My ID has changed also. So the government recognized me as a man in South Africa.
Okay.
The process was quite hard, but not harder for me, but for other trans people, it's harder. So you need to have 2 letters from a psychiatrist and to state that you're not crazy, you are ready to change your gender. And some of us, we have dropped our other names and added other names. You also need a doctor's note, a doctor's letter that states that you've been on testosterone for like a year or 2 years.
But have you always been Ayanda, or your name changed?
My name is Ayanda. I added 2 other names, yes.
Okay. Now, this also took a toll on your mental health. Talk to us about overcoming it and the kind of support and the level of support you got from your family.
Ooh. Oh. For my mental health, before transition, it was really, really bad. It was really bad. From wanting to commit suicide, being depressed, and also being toxic to my relationships, friendships, even my family. And when I decided to transition, I lost a family, I lost friends, and I remember I stayed alone in the streets. But I knew that I wanted to be their man. It's something needed to give in. I don't know what made me fight back and brought me into life, and here I am today. But right now, my mental, I'm with a group called the Mankind Project, which helps men to talk about their problems, their traumas, and I have friends. Oh, my friends, they are the greatest support ever that my friends knew before I even said I'm a trans man, I'm a man. They knew me. So it was never a surprise. So they've been here with me ever. Yeah. For family, me and my mom, we're fixing our relationship. She's coming to terms that she has a son now, and she's proud. What I see is she's proud. She's proud. It's a working relationship, you know, and other family members, you know, it's their belief. They don't believe whatever. So I don't want to dwell in that. Yeah.
All right, we're out of time, unfortunately, but thank you so much for sharing your story with us. We do appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Well, Ayanda Maphosa there is, well, he's a creative director, Eduardo Kachuku, talking to us about this. Well, he's talking about his transition, really, about his trans journey and the challenges and the obstacles he has had to overcome.